Hey everyone. Today we're going to talk about Batman Noir, The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore and illustrated by Brian Boland. Um, this is a continuation of the Noir series of books, which is basically, if you're not familiar, DC Comics is releasing a series of trade paperbacks, hardcover graphic novels, what you want to whatever you want to call them, basic storylines, um, with just the inks and no color. Um, if you follow this channel, you know that I collect these. I love adding them to my collection, and this is one I want to share with you because I've read some reviews online, and I just want to share my thoughts on it. So, as you can see, the cover is not the traditional cover from The Killing Joke, and as in a lot of my videos, I'm gonna kind of show you what I mean here. I've got the Killing Joke Deluxe Edition, and so you can see the difference. This illustration actually is in the Deluxe Edition. Right there. Oh, sorry about the glare there. Yep. So that's where the cover art comes from. The spine is, I know, sorry, the glare is a little bit rough, but Killing Joke, Batman Noir, Alan Moore, Brian Boland, DC Comics. And on the back, it's the, oops, sorry. It's essentially the same image, just cropped a little bit differently between the two. But pretty much the same, pretty much the same text on both. The only thing that's added here is a little quote by Tim Burton up at the top. So as far as the book is concerned, if you haven't read The Killing Joke, I recommend you do it. It's not, I don't think it's in continuity anymore, but that's kind of up in the air. Not quite sure about that anymore. They've retconned a lot of different things, and Barbara Gordon was shot but not shot, and so some of the story may still be in place, and other parts might not be. It's hard to say, but. So what the Noir edition has, there's that first image there. What the Noir edition is missing is the introduction from the Deluxe edition. So as you can see, it jumps straight into the story. Overall, I can say that the Noir treatment on this gives it a very dark and gritty feel. But there are some things that you miss, and I will show you right here. This scene early on with the Joker, awesome scene between Batman and the Joker, talking about, Batman basically goes to the Joker and says, it's going to be one of us, you know that, right? One of us is going to kill the other. And it turns out that it's not the Joker in the cell here. And so if you look right here, Batman grabs the Joker's hand and points to it. And here in the last panel, this is something that can only be done with color. But he removes, he looks at his hands and there's white paint, meaning that it's not the Joker. And if you look, and I'll show you what I mean in the Deluxe edition here, but this same scene, you can see he wipes the hand, and there's white paint there. And the same thing in the following page, you see he wipes the paint off of whoever's pretending to be the Joker there. He wipes the paint off of his face. So you are missing that. And so if you're not familiar with the story, you might not quite understand what this might mean. But overall, it's still very good. And just to compare, some of the other things that you're missing here is the flashback scenes. Personally, maybe because I've read it so much, I know what the flashback scenes look like. But in the deluxe edition, and let's see if I can pull this up really quickly. Yeah, here we go. I'll just put them this way so you can see them. On this page, you can see that this becomes like a kind of a grayscale sepia kind of a tone compared to the vibrant colors over here. But if you didn't know the story, these don't read any differently. So it becomes difficult to tell what's a flashback and what's not. I would have really liked to see maybe them do something to accentuate the difference, maybe completely black on the outside of these text frame or outside of these panels. So that way, it's kind of just a subtle clue or a subtle bit of information to say that, hey, this is a flashback. This is what's going on right now. So just some of the things that you're going to miss out on the Noir, but the question is going to be, does this make up for, or does the loss of the color take something away from the story? I personally think it does when it comes to somebody who's read it for the first time, but if you're someone like me that loves collecting the Noir series or just loves, has already read The Killing Joke and wants something a little bit different for the shelf, it works, but you're just missing a little bit with the color. Even this picture here with the Joker with the TV screen here. I mean, it's still a very, very cool image, but it lacks a certain, I don't know, something. I feel like, with, I don't know, it just lacks a certain something. It certainly reads a lot better as a TV screen here, at least from far away. It feels like it's missing just a little bit of something. And if you've seen my last comparison video with The Killing Joke, you know that it was recolored. That this version here, the deluxe edition, was recolored already. So, just take that for what it's worth as well. Now, one of the cool things about this is the extra features. Just like in the deluxe edition, it has this story here, written and drawn by Brian Boland. It's just sort of a, person's look into Batman and everything. So there's that. There's also one extra story in here that's not in the deluxe edition, and that's, the origin of the Joker, and written by Mark Waid and with Brian Boland as an artist. Just basically not even a story, just a 2-page kind of overview of the Joker. And then lastly, in the back here, after this story, you have the Killing Joke cover gallery. And what this is basically all the covers of Batman that Brian Boland has drawn. So, you get a lot of the Joker. And then he was the cover artist for Gotham Knights for a while. So you get a lot of the Gotham Knights covers, references to, the Killing Joke and, just a bunch of different stuff here in the back. Really cool to see it, but not necessarily essential or even really tying in too much to the Killing Joke, other than that it's Brian Boland doing the art on this. But still kind of cool to see it, and given the noir treatment, meaning that it's just ink and no color. The last thing that I want to mention, I think here... Oh, sorry, let me skip here to the end here. Yeah. So, at the end, that's it. The covers are the last bit in the Noir book. in the deluxe edition, there is one last special feature thing here at the end, and that would be just this 2-pager that basically just gives a look into some of the sketches from not even the Killing, I mean a little bit of the Killing Joke, but this here specifically I think is from, or at least this one right here is from that backup story. This over here is from the backup story. This is actually sketches from the Killing Joke. So, and then just a little bit of a, something that he talks about. So you're missing this in the Batman Noir as well. So just be aware of that. So other than that, Batman Noir, The Killing Joke, really good read as a story. It's a 5 out of 5. When it comes to the presentation, the Noir presentation is spot on for me. I think DC does a great job with these. The only thing I think you're losing with this is that the story relies on a bit of color to show flashback scenes, and like I said earlier in the book, to identify the Joker that he's missing in the cell. And so those are things that are really missing and kind of are lackluster when it comes to the Noir treatment on this book. And it's understandable. This book was written, drawn, illustrated, colored to read as a story that was in color. And so given the Noir treatment for this one, especially when you're dealing with how they've dealt with flashbacks, yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of something. I personally like it because it adds to my collection. It looks really nice on the shelf. And I'm just a sucker for buying these Noir editions. But as far as the Noir treatment on this particular book, I think it's the least successful one, meaning that the color plays an important role in the Killing Joke, and that's stripped out of here. So in that instance, I think this is the least successful Batman Noir book that I've had, that I have. But it's still good quality. I'd still give it a 3 out of 5 as far as that goes. So if you want, check it out, pick it up. And if you haven't read Batman, The Killing Joke, don't start with this edition. Start with the deluxe edition. And then if you want, pick up this extended special edition kind of a book. All right. Thanks, guys. I will talk to you and upload a new video soon, hopefully. I've got a lot of stuff to cover, and let me know if you have any interest in me covering some of the upcoming books that DC is doing as far as omnibuses and special editions and stuff. They've got some really cool stuff that's on the horizon. I think they're getting some of their omnibus stuff together. I'm hoping, meaning that I'm hoping that they're starting to put stuff out with a cohesive theme to the cover art. But let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that in the comments down below. And if there's enough interest, I'll go into a little bit of a talk about some omnibuses that I have from DC, what's coming up from DC, and what I think they're doing right and wrong, and what they can improve on, and what I'm looking forward to getting. All right, take care, guys, and I will see you next time.